Welcome friends to your Vinyasa Yoga Flow. My name is Crystal and this is Andrew. We're from Power Moves Yoga. For today's class, it's an all levels Vinyasa class. So you have a couple options for props if you're working from home. Ideally, you would want to have 2 yoga blocks handy. If you do not have yoga blocks around, that is okay. You can improvise with 2 flat, strong surfaces. So off to the side, I have chairs that we can use. We can use these during a little bit of core work today and at the end. So if you have yoga blocks, grab them. Otherwise, chairs or any flat, strong surfaces will do. All right, let's get started in a seated position. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see the setup here. Andrew, good, and face forward. And then just find a comfortable seat. You might need to rock side to side to find your sit bones. And then before we get settled into breath, let's play around with your pelvis. So can you arch your back, roll your pelvis forward, feel it lifts your chest a little bit, arches your low back, and then exaggerate the other way. Can you tuck your pelvis under? See how that brings your chest forward and kind of rounds the shoulders. All right, let's try that one more time each way. Exaggerate the tilt forward and exaggerate the tilt back. So what we're looking for in a seat is to find the natural curve in the low back. We're not exaggerated forward, but a natural tilt. Draw on your low belly muscles to pull up and in. Relax around your shoulders and neck. And then draw your chin towards your throat so your eyes are still at the horizon. Come into your natural breath and soften your eyelids closed. Notice your natural breath. Begin to lengthen your inhale. Soften your breath out. A soft smile helps relieve stress and tension. It also helps relax the muscles of the face. And come into your Ujjayi pranayama. So the soft restriction in your throat. Draw breath in through your nose. A soft restriction in the back of your throat as you breathe out. Your Ujjayi breath has a soft oceanic rhythm to it. Slightly audible. 2 more Ujjayi breaths here. Inhale, reach up overhead and gather some energy between your hands. I'll go ahead and twist towards your right. Twist towards your right, leverage your hand off your thigh. And sit tall through both sit bones, lift your chest. Inhale to center. And exhale, switch to the other side. Now lengthen along your spine, then shift your gaze over your shoulder. Good, come back to center. So notice which ankle is in front. That's probably your dominant side. I'm going to use this as reference today. Let's try the other foot in front. And switch out your legs. And a tall seat. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, twist. Andrew, something you said in the past that I really liked was how your back hand becomes your second spine to sit up tall. That really resonated well with me. Let's take it the other way. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Gently come back to center. So we're headed to a tabletop next. So one of the transitions we'll play with today is, can you keep your ankles crossed as you reach forward? Let them uncross behind you. And go ahead and get situated on your mat. With your hands shoulder width, your knees hip distance, breathe into cow pose and tilt your pelvis forward and draw your belly up and in your inner muscles. exhale, cat pose. Exaggerate your hips, your spine up towards the sky. Inhale, cow pose. Lengthen across your belly and your chest. Soften your gaze. Exhale, cat pose. Create new space all along your spine. One more time each way. Breathe in. And cat pose, breathe out. Come to a neutral spine. Your right arm reaches to the sky. Inhale for thread the needle. Exhale, sweep under. And rest your cheek down to the ground. Leverage off your top hand. It's your left foot. It's going to reach to the back. Take a lateral bend up and over. And exhale, have a seat. Have a seat so your right leg is on the inside. Your left leg's extended long. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Janusharasana. Rotate towards your extended leg. Now with the extended foot, you can either point or flex your toes, but wherever you're at, create some purpose. It's okay to have a little bit of a bend in your knee here to find more rotation. One more full breath, focused into the lower back. Inhale, three-legged down dog. So bring your hands to the top of your mat. And your right leg sweeps to the back. And find some length. Peek underneath your right armpit. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal through your knees. Spread out your toes wide. And inhale, cow pose. Lower to your knees, arch your back, and find strength through your inner abdominal muscles. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Lengthen strength through the belly. Exhale, cat. Separate your shoulder blades. One more time each way. To a neutral tabletop. And this time around, your left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Rest your cheek. Relax through your neck. Extend through your right knee. Inhale, gate pose. Press on up. Take a lateral bend up and over. And press down through your shin, lengthen through your sides. Go ahead and have a seat. Janusharasana. Lengthen up. Rotate over your extended leg. Come back to some purpose in your extended foot. Rotate your shoulders toward the ground. And send a few focused breaths into your lower back here. So your belly expands as you breathe in. And a comfortable inhale, take three-legged down dog. The knee that's bent, that's the one that's going to kick back. And exhale, downward facing dog. And settle your heels towards the ground. Press your chest to your thighs. Exhale, Malasana, the top of your space. And take this round as a moving Malasana. Rock side to side into your hips. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Go ahead and collapse your belly over your legs. little bend in your knees is all right. But once you have connection with the ground, begin to straighten your legs, bring some length to the back of your knee. Now, let's take your hands. See if you can bring them behind your heels. So your shoulders go on the inside of your knees. Let your head hang. You can bend into your knees a bit more to see what movement is available. And release your mind. Bring your feet together. You guys ready to have some fun? I know I am. I love the sequence. Inhale, Tittibhasana, reach up overhead. Gather some positive energy. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, boat pose. Come on down to a seat. Now, boat pose is a core pose. I'm going to tuck your pelvis under and hollow back. Bring your arm bones back into the shoulder socket. And try to find softness and ease around your gaze. I'll play around with that transition you mentioned in immigration today. And take your right foot, cross your ankles. Now see if you can find plank pose from here. So you can rock forward, plant your hands at the top, and step or hop back as we start to move. Now point your elbows to the back of the mat and lower all the way down to the ground so you can get your chest to arrive first. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift your palms off the ground. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, lift your right foot. Exhale, low lunge. Stay here. In this posture, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. If you look from the side, you want to play around with the pelvic tilt here. So instead of arching your back and letting your hips sink forward, try to tuck under first and then let your hips soften forward. This will help get into the front of your hips a bit more. So tuck under and soften. You'll find more length in the front of your hip. Those muscles get tight from sitting quite a bit. Breathe out, half splits. Straighten. And play around with the direction of your toes. Inhale, easy twist. Head it to the top. And lift your back knee off the ground. Rotate through your upper back. And soften your right hip down a tad. When you feel ready in your practice, you can begin to extend your top arm. Head to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tittibhasana. Lift your chest, lift your spirits. Exhale, forward fold. Headed to boat pose. Inhale, lift. To boat. How is that? Fun, right?
Much better.
I think so. All right, this time your left foot. Put your left foot in, cross it on top, find plank pose. So if the left difficult to get your chest to rise first, use your knees on the ground, then lower down. Breathe in, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Use the block for support or your chair if you got an area. Tuck your pelvis under. Trust your weight forward. Now feel the lengthening sensation in the front of your right hip. Exhale, half split. Notice any differences on this side. This side has more length, or is it a little tighter? Inhale, easy twist. And draw your front knee towards the middle of your mat. Rotate. Separate your bottom shoulder from your ear. We're headed to the top, friends. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, boat pose. Your right foot crosses on top. Forward. Lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose. Draw your elbows together. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half split. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, boat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, Anjane. Exhale, half split. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale, forward fold at the top. Inhale, chair pose, sink your hips. So good. So we're going to add on to that little transition we did together. Airplane arms. Extend your right foot out in front. This is where we have different options to play with. Step one, you can leave your toe right on the ground. Helps with stability, balance. An added challenge would be to float your toes. Now, I'm going to keep my toes on the ground just to support my way down to the ground. All right, here we go. Inhale, rock and roll. So you're going to lower down like a single leg squat, find bow. Crosses in front, where I'll plank to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Breathe out, down dog. Inhale, lift your right toes. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Settle down, stay here a few moments. Now shift your front knee to the outer edge of your foot. Straighten your back leg so much so that it encourages some depth in your front leg. All right, strong yogis. Find some belly strength. Exhale, extended side angle. Now roll your hips towards the back edge of the mat. Find even length through your sides here. Inhale, star. Now keep a straight spine. Lift your chest. Tuck your pelvis under a bit. Scoop in your low belly muscles. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Take a few moments here to add in movements that just intuitively feel right in your hips or low back. High five your neighbor. Nice job. Alright, we're headed to the back of the mat for Skandasana. Back. Now the toes that are at the front of your mat, you're going to flex them and then scoop in your low belly muscles. Can you create a flat back here? It's tempting to round forward and reach for the ground, but try to lift up. And add in the balance challenge like Andrew here. You bring both hands off the ground. Strong breath in. Exhale, low lunge at the top. Inhale, horizon. So horizon pose, you're going to flip to the blade edge of both feet and then come to the side so that you can see. Both blade edges of the feet are to the ground. Then rotate your chest open. See if you can keep a straight line from your hip through your back foot. Your hand goes up and over like you're following the. We're headed to forward fold. Flatten your front foot first, then step forward. Good work. Inhale, chair. Right foot forward. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, boat pose, rock and roll. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side. Inhale, star. Exhale, wide-legged forward. To the back of the mat. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, horizon, up and over. Exhale, forward fold at the top. Inhale, chair. Your left foot forward, airplane arms. Inhale, Navasana, rock and roll. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side. Inhale, star. Exhale, wide-legged fold. Skandasana to the back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, horizon. Exhale, forward fold at the top. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, boat pose, come on down. Can you float your toes? And stay hollow through your belly. A little bit of pelvic tuck under. And straighten one leg. Come back to center, switch to the other. All right, now find a comfortable position. So whether it's your feet together or slightly bent, if you're really open, you can straighten both legs. But here's where you have to laugh a little bit. Like I usually can get the whole room to laugh with me in yoga class. See if you can hold your position, rock and roll, and come back up to a seat. Ready? 3, 2, go. Rock and roll, come back up. Oh! All right, what about one leg straight? Rock and roll so you can come back up. Oh, that was a little harder. All right, we got the other side. Ready, rock and roll? Go! Yeah! Got stuck. Great job, everyone. I hope you had fun with that too. All right, find a seated bound angle pose. Lift your chest and sink your belly forward. And take cradle the baby next. So grab a hold of your right foot. And now either your foot goes into your palm or you can bring it into your elbow pit. And same thing with the other knee. Either goes into your hand or your other elbow pit. Or you can sit up tall still and then take a few rocks side to side. My hips love this pose. Now, it wasn't always that way, but. So one of my favorite styles of yoga is laughter yoga. It doesn't require a mat. I take classes with Terry Resner every chance that I get. She's amazing. But she has taught us that laughter, it does release endorphins to relieve stress, relieve tension, and help with anxiety. All right, go ahead and extend the leg out to the side, open the hip. But an important thing about laughter yoga is that you don't really have to be laughing at anything or anybody. You don't need a source to create laughter. You can create it within you. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Cradle the baby on the other one. This one's a little bit tighter for me. I pay attention to where you're at, and then a few rocks side to side. And one of the nifty tricks that she's taught in one of her laughter yoga classes is that if you are having a bad day or you are just feeling like you're in a funk, you can just start laughing. And even like a fake laugh then creates a genuine laugh, and it kind of just like spirals from there. And if you have people around you, you can just like pretend like you're on a phone and you're trying to say like the funniest thing ever. I love it. And extend your leg up to the side. Fresh blood flow. All right, let's try that rock and roll. Cross your ankles. We're headed to downward facing dog. So cross your ankles and step. We'll meet in downward facing dog, with or without the fancy chaturanga. And breathe in, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Now this is similar to Anjaneyasana, where you can play around with the pelvic tilt. Tuck your hips under, create length through your sides. So I've been asked pretty frequently, should the back knee be straight or should it be bent? And there isn't a one is the right answer. It really depends on the opening of your hips and where you're at. So let's say you had really tight hip flexors up in front, you're going to tuck your hips under, then your back leg might not want to straighten. But if you can keep your pelvis under and straighten your back leg, that would be ideal. And then reach your arms overhead once you feel secure in your foundation. Now, grip into your front foot and trust your weight forward into Tittibhasana. Tittibhasana is like Warrior 3. You want a straight line from your head through your back leg. And fly your arms out to the side with confidence over your chest. Ideally melting down to a capital T shape. Inhale, tree pose. Now to start, you can use your toe on the ground as a kickstand. Begin to work your foot up your leg, maybe even your thigh. And press your floating knee towards the back of the room. You bring in some energy from your low belly to reach your arms overhead. Shift your gaze out in the distance, find a focus point. Exhale, runner's lunge. Just step wide across your mat. Land softly. Your hands blend. There you go. Press away from the ground, lift your chest. Alright, so to get into the next pose, you're going to want to bring your hand right underneath your shoulder so that your wrist, elbow, and shoulder create a straight line. We're headed open towards your right side or side plank. With a comfortable breath in, sweep your front leg back. Modification here, you can use your bottom knee on the ground as a kickstand for some added stability. Exhale, chaturanga. Keep your shoulders higher than elbow level. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent. Find that pelvic tuck. When your low belly muscles scooped in, how much can you straighten your back knee without losing that integrity in the pelvis? Once your foundation is strong, reach up overhead. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. And trust your weight into your front foot. Inhale, Tittibhasana. Confidence over your chest. And strengthen in your back leg. Scoop in your belly muscles to support your back. Inhale, tree pose. Ideally, you would want to match the same expression in your legs that you had on the other side. And stomp through your base leg. Find a focal point out in the distance, something that doesn't move. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead. And the calm, stillness. You're not working too hard. Melt away some of the stress. Exhale, runner's lunge. Come on down to the ground. Rest your back knee to the floor. Alright, line up your bottom hand so it's under your shoulder. Wrist, elbow, shoulder in a straight line. Yes. Alright, side plank to your left side. Find even length along your sides and softness to your gaze. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come on down to your knees. And sweep your legs out in front of you. Got some belly work to do. Love belly work. So you can use your chair for your feet if you have any sensitivities in your lower back and your hips, or you can use, oh yeah, we're going to do those too for sure, L-sits. We got one more exercise before L-sits, so I know if Ramona's watching out there, she loves L-sits. All right, the more advanced version in this one is you could take the block between your feet and lay down on the ground. We're going to do some belly up core work. So I'm going to use the chair to demonstrate how to use that with your belly work. Andrew's taking the more advanced version. You have 10 crunches of your choice. So knees open, press your feet together with your hands behind your head. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders. Inhale, lower halfway. Now put some tension between your feet. That helps scoop in your low belly. Breathe out at the top. Inhale, lower halfway. Can you give your hips a little squeeze off the ground? Engage your pelvic floor. About halfway. Exhale up, let out your stale air. Inhale, lower. We're here for 4. Inhale, lower. 2. 1 more together. Up and hold, 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 hold. 4, 3, up higher. 2, 1, and let it go. Nice job. Now we're ready for L-sits. So Andrew's going to demonstrate with the blocks if you have them. Chairs are really great, or any hard surface that you have that is next to one another. L-sits are great for shoulders and a little bit of core. All right.
Might as well fix each other.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Ready.
I gotta take a deep breath out first. Inhale, lift your hips, separate your shoulders from your ears. Can you get your hips to go behind your hands a tad? Hold. 3, 2, 1, and rest. If you're on a higher surface, you can come down to a knee. Much safer for your shoulders. All right, round 2. That is your right toes lifted off the ground. Start with them lifted. I find it easier when the knee is closer to the chest. And inhale, lift. Send your hips behind you. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Left leg up. Are you ready? Go. Hollow back. Draw your ribs up and in. 3, 2, and 1. All right, for my crazy friends out there, both feet off the ground. Both feet off the ground and both feet stay on the ground. Your choice. Ready? Inhale, lift. Both feet. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and done. Oh. So within that core work, you see how your pelvis went forward and we kind of hollowed out through the belly. And that's the same motion that we take in some arm balances, like crow pose. So crow, I'm going to come a little bit closer. You're going to bring your shin bones to the back of your arm. The closer you can get your knees to go past your armpit, the easier that one's going to be. Hollow through the belly, trust weight into your hands. Looks a little bit like this. Point your elbows back, elbows and shins together, trust weight forward. Right? Go ahead and give crow pose a try. See if you can float one toe, switch down to the other, and then maybe both feet. Malasana is where we'll meet next. This next posture we're headed to is Tittibhasana, also known as Firefly. You're going to see if you can get your knees as close to your shoulders as you can with your feet in front of you. So, similar to crow pose, you trust weight into your hands, but this time, see if you can get your feet to cross in front of you. Asana is where we need to get out of this posture. Come back to center, shift forward, and roll out your wrists so the top of your palms go to the ground. How'd that feel?
Great.
Good? I find that one to be pretty playful. It's like the days where I'm too high strung in my practice, it's like, I can't do that one today. But on days where it's playful, or interactive, and just float on up. I'm surprised neither one of us rocked back, because that usually happens. All right, ready to give it a try one more time?
All right.
All right, so if you had your right leg crossed on top, this time see if you can get your left leg to cross on top, and then straighten the legs if it's there for you.
Do the funny one.
Do the funny one. So kind of like ragdoll, bring your shoulders behind your knees, flatten. And then come on back.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I am so ready for pigeon pose. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. So pigeon pose, you can start with your right leg in front. Leg creates a figure 7. If you're like, oh, that does not feel good on my knees, you can also take this one with a chair. So your left leg goes on top of a chair, and then your right leg crosses over. And take the one that feels better for you today. Begin to slow down your breath. To three-legged down dog. Sweep your front leg back. And look underneath your armpit there. Open up the front of your hip. You can even take your top leg and step back into wild thing. That's in your practice. And transition to pigeon pose on the other side. And trust your weight forward. And soften your hips down to the mat. Use your exhale to let go of pressures and tensions the body might be hanging on to today. Leg back and send fresh blood flow to your foot. And play around with the same expression and variation you took on the other side. And we do need some back bending here now. And a hinge to plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. And set up for bound locust. So zip your legs up as if they were one. Bind your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your toes. Find length over your lower back and drawing your belly button into your spine. And take scorpion pose. Reach your right arm out to the side. And flip your left leg up and over. So you can have your arm completely straight, or you can goal post it out to the side, whichever one feels better in your shoulders and chest. Inhale to center. We'll take floor bow. And go ahead and grab your feet behind you. If grabbing your feet is not accessible, go ahead and take another round of bound locust with your hands together. And inhale, lift. Soften your gaze. And strengthen your kick. Gently release. And take scorpion on the other side. Inhale to center. Make your way up to a kneeling stance. And set up for camel pose. I'll turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to tuck your pelvis under first. Pelvic tilt again. And your hands are used to support your sacrum, the flat bone above your tailbone. Draw your elbows together and then trace your gaze back. Can you lift through your chest? Trust your chin to go all the way back. I'm going to expose your throat and switch to open mouth breath. And gently rise. And come into Sukhasana. Sukhasana is an easy seat. Lift your hands with the ground. And find a tall seat. Logic is from point A to point B. But creativity can take you everywhere and anywhere. So as we go through these next few postures together, to explore the transition in between each of them. Enjoy each breath. To melting heart. So in melting heart, the version on the ground is with your hips. They stay right on top of your knees and you walk your hands forward. I know Andrew and I take this one slightly different where I think you put your chin down, right? Mm-hmm. He puts his chin down on the ground, it accentuates the arch in the low back, or you can rest your forehead down. So go ahead and take that one. And I'll show you the version on the chair. The chair, it'll be the same thing. Your chin or your head can rest on the seat, but you have more room to lower your chest. Your hips stay still right on top of your knees. If you want to go a little bit further, you can use your hands into the seat and then rock your chest down even lower. Wherever you are at in this posture, I want to open up all along the shoulder, the wide part of your back. So with each breath, fill up the spaces along your ribs. As you exhale, melt your chest down to the ground. One more full round of breath. Legs out in front. Kapashimo variation, seated forward fold. Take your right leg on top, your ankles cross. Inhale, lengthen upward. And exhale, fold forward. Your ribs go towards your knees. Your chest and head last. And lower your chin, lengthen the back of your neck. Bring your breath to your lower back. And slowly rise. And slide your foot up on the outside of your knee, half or the fish. You can take the more advanced version to bend your bottom leg, or keep your bottom leg straight. Reach your left arm up, leverage off your elbow into your knee. Find a twist. Your breath should still be steady, able to fill up your lower belly and your back. And take your time to unwind and switch over to the other side. And breathe in to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Enjoy the journey on the way down. And use your creativity and intuition to adjust. And slide your foot up to the outside of your knee. Reach your right arm up. And exhale, rotate across your arm, over your knee, and twist through your spine. Take your time back to center. Sukhasana, easy seat. Thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us. If you enjoyed this sequence on Tittibhasana, Firefly pose, please be sure to hit the like button at the bottom and subscribe to our page to be notified when our next class is out. It's time now for Shavasana. You'll find that at the end of this clip. Namaste, friends.